Hello everyone, I'm here with MangoTownMatt and we're about to play some Atomic Chess 960. How you
Oh
doing?
yeah, we are.
How you doing, Matt?
Doing pretty well. How about you,
Good.
Travis?
Good.
Excellent.
We're playing on chessvariants.training. I'm gonna do 3 plus 6, is that cool?
Absolutely.
So I just made one. Hopefully you click it.
Oh, I'm gonna click it. Oh, I'm gonna click it. Here we go.
Alright, so it's gonna be interesting. I haven't played Atomic. There was a Lee Chess tournament about a month, probably a little over a month now ago, a 24-hour tournament, and I played a lot of it. And I haven't really played much Atomic since. Alright, let me...
So Atomic, and remind me because it's been a while since I've played Atomic as well.
Oh, yeah.
Atomic is basically just like suicide chess, right? You're trying to lose.
No, that's anti-chess.
Oh no, wait. Atomic is where each piece, when you take it, it explodes, and within like
The king move around
four
it.
square.
Yeah. So whenever a capture happens, it creates an explosion that captures every piece in the surrounding square.
Nice.
Alright.
I'm liking Atomic. I'm surprised that the 960 is not as different as I expected it to be. They really only shuffled up King, Queen, and the. Well, that's
you,
that.
yeah,
I guess I can do that.
yeah. That's actually kind of worrisome. Still. Because I don't want your queen getting out.
You been up to much, Travis, or just picking away at that book?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just trying to get the last few things done. It's kind of tough because it was like right. And I've been working on just like playing hand percussion while your songs go along.
Yeah.
Because I'm not great at that.
That's fair. I'll be excited for that to be finished.
But yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna just record a lot of hand instruments and then kind of mute them after if I feel like it's too much or
That's not a bad idea.
I can just play some on oh 1 and 3. Okay.
Oh.
1 and 3 or 2 and 4 or on the off beats or something. Whatever the strummings, kind of matches them. But I think I also might want to add, well, either like piano bass lines or actually have like a MIDI acoustic bass. Doing like just really, quiet parts.
Yeah. That'll be fun for those of you listening who have no idea what we're talking about. Mango Town has been working on an EP. Been in the works for quite some time. It's been kind of like a long distance relationship, you might say. As some of us are more spread out than others. But yeah, we're hoping to get that out, I think. Probably beginning of the summer.
still think this is still checkmate. I think even if you don't explode, if your king can't move. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
It's the same position.
Righty.
So yeah, kind of. There's. Okay.
You're kind of there's.
Oh yeah. In standard atomic, where it's just all the same line, you almost always start with a knight. Well, right there.
I don't even believe in rules, man. Rules are for squares. Oh, maybe not. Maybe rules are for squares. Yeah, it makes sense that two terribly different in terms of general maneuverability. It is truly a match of experience versus, well, I hope this works.
But this is actually my first time playing 960.
It's your first time playing 960, but I feel like if you play a lot of a single variant, even in standard, the chances of you being...
Yeah, that should be.
Now I have a question about...
Yeah, I still got it.
Bishop. Okay. So what is the actual... Is it a 3x3 that it explodes?
Yes. It's any,
Okay.
like any like yeah, I guess so. But only the pieces, not pawns.
Oh, okay.
Well, if a pawn captures a pawn, they'll both explode. But if a pawn's just in the 3x3, and it won't get captured. But only pieces.
Huh.
All right, it's a king in the
How
corner.
about that? Oh man, so my school's having this thing tomorrow, and they're like, what did they set it up as like we're having a talent show. But they let kids just sign up at random. And so
Excuse me. Yeah, excuse me.
goodness.
Started laughing while I was drinking water and had a cough, so.
They let kids just sign up at random, so it's going to be like 3 hours. And our principal always does this thing where he won't tell you if something is mandatory. He just says stupid shit like, I hope I can count on your presence. Or thank you in advance for your... So I emailed him and was like, so is this mandatory or not? And he was like, it's not mandatory, but I hope you come to see it for the joy of seeing your student sing. And I was like, yeah, about that. See, funny thing about that is 3 hours of my time is significantly more valuable to me.
I would say if you're white, sorry, you'd probably want to get a knight out first unless you have a bishop or queen that can pretty much make a threat to the king.
That's fair. I mean, it's one of those things though where it's like I could play that way, we could both play that way, and the whole time it would just be like night rushing, which is not terrible, but
it's actually usually mostly. Well, I mean, almost all Atomic games I played, you get your knight out first, and then whoever gets their queen out first is pretty much the winner, or gets their queen. But sometimes, I mean, with in games, you got to get your rook. Within games, you want to get your rooks down there.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. Took all the time. He had to move the pawn in front of the king. I thought we've played more games of Atomic than me and Mike, or me and.
I think we have.
Or me and Gravatt
I don't think we've played Atomic since like the fall.
That's fair.
Like, I think it's been a long time since we played Atomic.
Yeah. So which one of these knights?
Oh, it's also really funny about this this whole thing with this like talent show.
Mm-hmm.
Is so I like went to them a couple weeks ago and was like, I'm strongly considering staying. So like, when can we meet? And I went to see this woman, and she's like, give me until next week. And then I came the next week, and she was like, give me 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. Like, I don't even have anything to lose. It's not a mandatory event. I am not required to be there. It's going to be so good when I don't have to spend 3 hours doing stuff that I would really rather not be doing. Because I don't know how you feel, Travis. I mean, like, maybe you don't feel this way. I know you work significantly less than I do. But yeah, when I'm not at work, every single second is precious.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you work a full-time gig, you know, you're working 8-hour days. If just that. What a colossal waste of time.
Oh, man. See, this is why nights are good at the start.
Oh, we will see, won't we? Oh, man. Yo, can you believe that I just like completely dodged the whole like Facebook like political sorting thing?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure they still I think those were just like the few that they even show. I mean, they have like thousands of points.
I went on and I looked through all of mine, and they do have me associated with like a couple of political groups, but it's like the weirdest stuff. It's like, the Estonian Social Democrats. And I was like, like, I know it's near the Baltic Sea, but if you asked me to point it out on a map, I definitely couldn't tell you where Estonia was.
Nice. And that's a good reason to do nights first.
Yeah, that's true. But see, then why call it atomic? Why not just call it exploding knights?
Yeah, well, that is actually a problem with the standard version. And actually, I think I was thinking 960 would solve it. But I actually thought we played a version called Knightmate, where this is
You
game.
see, already there's literally nothing I can do.
Yeah, there's a variant called Knightmate, and I was thinking about this. There's 2 kings instead of in the knight's place, and the knight is the royal piece. And Knightmate Atomic would be, I think, could be pretty good. We couldn't. I mean, we would have to do it like over the board, where we just say these pieces explode and then take those pieces off the board, because we couldn't do that on the internet right now. But where it's like legally playing. All right. But I think it could solve the game or help the game. I mean, if they're just different standard pieces other than knight.
Yeah. Ooh. Mighty goofed.
I mean, I can take it, but knights can be more powerful too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like like this. Okay. Well, I guess it's not. Oh. Okay, so here. All right, I can make a decision there. Is my sound? Oh, I took the sound off. I wonder if there's explosions on this one. Explosion sounds. Different explosion noise, but interesting.
Well, shit.
I think you might have had a winning move earlier, but it was a sack. It was a.
I think if I'd taken your pawn on e6.
Yeah. Or just you could have moved your knight to f5, and then I couldn't capture there because then the queen could have just came into f7.
True. Yeah, that would have been good. All right, let's see if I can make some sort of recovery.
I'll have to show you some of the opening lines for Atomic, because you could pretty much be a really good Atomic player with like just knowing, a few of the openings. I would say.
I feel like that
And
can
some of the
sometimes
strategy.
be the case with a lot of the
Well,
variants.
the
As soon as
strategy.
you watch somebody who's really, really talented
Yeah.
at like openings and stuff, and you figure out the general strategy, it's like, oh, okay.
Because a lot of the tactics here are just like you want to blow up more pieces. I mean, so like,
Yeah.
so yeah, like in that in game, or like I captured, one of the or captured 3 pieces with my knight. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's really. So yeah, some of the. At least on standard, you kind of know the knight move and which pawn you have to move to block it. Usually, all the time. Yeah, see on 960, sometimes I guess I could have done that. Yeah, you still have to. You still have almost the same knight moves where we've shown that in different games where you can't really do much
Yeah.
after. But I think Knight Mate would be a good version of Atomic.
Yeah, I
But
think so as well.
but I was thinking, today that like yeah.
That's fair. So I sent, I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I sent one of my friends a bunch of poetry. He read through all the stuff. I worked with him, and he read through all the stuff that I turned in for MFAs.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, do you mind if I use part of this poem? He does graphic design as well.
Mhm.
He does like art with graphic design. He's like, oh, do you mind if I use part of this poem while I submit this piece to be displayed in South Korea? And I was like, no, I don't. Go ahead. It was like hilarious just to think about, like, and here's a little blurb by MangoTownMatt. All the way around the world. Oh, you see it. I see you. You see me. Game over, man.
I can't believe I looked at that. I was like, do I take the piece next to the pawn next to the king?
Travis, we were talking about this the other night.
Mm-hmm.
I totally don't think it's even newsworthy that that a government would suggest that their workers not look into.
Oh yeah. You don't think it was newsworthy? It would be newsworthy? Yeah.
No, not at all. I think it's like common sense with a government position.
Yeah.
And the way that I kind of justify that is like, say that you're say that you decide to be a soldier,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the things you decide is like, okay, I'm going to fight for my nation, and then all of a sudden, you get sent into war. Like, imagine trying to like be friends with the enemy. I think on like an art of war perspective, it might have some benefits.
But it's not saying
overall,
not saying be friends with anyone. It's saying don't look into anything.
Oh no! Of course. But I mean, like, yeah, it probably also wouldn't suggest that you like read all of the ideology of the people you're fighting against.
But to actively persuade not to, as well.
Yeah, but see, I think it's completely logical that a government would say that about whistleblowers for their workers. I can't see.
I mean, yeah.
I can't imagine any reason why a government wouldn't. Because, like, I mean, presumably, there's no government in the entire world that's, like, completely free from
Yeah.
bless you. There's no government in the world that's entirely free from, like, corruption and just, like, bad shit. And, I mean,
sure.
whistleblowers are the people who call that out. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I see you, Monsieur Travis.
Thanks, SAI. Go ahead.
What did you say?
Somewhere in the chat. SAI is a person in the chat. They
Nice.
just have a good stream, MangoTown.
Thank you, SAI. Have a good watch.
So far,
You read essays with your eyes?
no. I remember it stands for the letters S, A, and I. I'm pretty sure.
Aha.
But then they made that name. I think that's what they said. But ooh.
Yeah, this is getting sticky real quick.
Let me make that text bigger in the chat so I can see it. Well, the person I'm playing against is an English teacher, so that could... I mean, I guess it doesn't help you with your essays, but, you know.
Yeah. Teaching kids to write is eternally frustrating. Well, probably not the best move. Definitely probably should have done G7 to G6. Writing is a complicated task, but there are simple things you can do to help yourself improve that a lot of kids just are entirely unwilling to do. And understandably so, if you told me to do them when I was their age, I wouldn't have either.
Don't think you got it. Yeah.
Oh no.
So yeah, I wonder, because there are people on Lead Chess right now looking for, like, out of all the 960 positions, they're trying to find like the most balanced one.
Interesting.
Where you can't really do much of those things at the start. Okay. Do this one.
His name is Travis. He's so sneaky. Worth it.
A lot of times when I write music, I'll just write really bad things. Not always really bad, but just write, whatever comes to mind, and then if it's bad, I'll still keep it, and then be on the process of fixing things after that.
MangoTownTravis, remember that time I read an essay about about you and, like, why people thought you were, like, a freak? That was a pretty funny essay.
I would say weird more than, I don't think it was freak.
Yeah, no, that's what it was. I apologize for my ridiculous suggestion. Oh man, that is not what I intended. But the worst things have happened.
Can we do retake backs or no? Because you have to move that pawn.
What did you say?
Can we do except oh no, I don't think you can. I don't think. Okay, yeah, we can't do take backs. Because you had to move that pawn on f2.
Yeah, true. Thanks.
Okay, knight's in the corner. That's actually pretty good. And it kind of away from the king. Double taking. Okay, I'll explain the rules of time again. When any capture happens, it results in an explosion that blows up any piece, not pawn, any piece in the surrounding area. So if a capture happens there, here, an explosion would happen in all these squares, including this one.
In the 3x3 area, from where
But
the center is.
only pieces will blow up, not pawns.
Oh man, I made some great soup. Ooh, I took 2 chicken carcasses and put them in a pressure cooker for an hour. A bunch of curry and like chili powder, some cumin, some turmeric, and an onion. I put in a bunch of lentils. Yum.
That does sound yummy.
God damn it.
So you can ask that to both of us, because I more write
See.
symphony and orchestra stuff, and Schroeder writes like guitar and vocal type stuff.
Yeah.
So I can answer that. They asked, when you write music, what do you usually write
Yes.
first? So I think we can both answer that in different ways. So I write orchestras for orchestra and like wind ensemble and sometimes quartets, small ensembles, stuff like that, brass ensembles or percussion ensembles. And what I usually nice. Oh, not nice. I was still threatening checkmate.
So what you usually do?
I just write whatever's in my I hear first, and then I can still decide later if that's gonna be the end or the beginning or the middle, or if I don't like it, and then but a lot of times I'll start at the beginning of a section. It might not be the start of the piece, but it'll be a start of a section. It'll be an introduction of types.
Is that it, Travis? You finished answering?
Yeah, I was thinking about where I need to move. But a lot of times, I know Beethoven was kind of famous for starting at the end of his pieces and then working, like, picking every little thread out of the ending and then, like, developing that to, like, starting with, like, a tiny idea and then developing that to the end because he knows where he wants to finish. I've done that before. I mean, it seems... I pretty much just try to get a lot of music down on the page as much as I can, and then I can think about how I want to organize it or think about how I want to... yeah, especially with copy and paste, I can just copy a whole section and move it around and stuff like that. So...
Thanks. Yeah, I usually, for me, it's a very mixed bag. Sometimes I'll write a chord progression first, or sometimes I'll have like a melody line first. Other times, I find. Other times I'll get like a little bit of. I'll like catch a line of lyric, and I'll write that down, and man, it can be so hit or miss if I'm not really sitting down and trying to do it regularly. It's kind of happened recently. There'll be times where I'll come up with like a chord progression or something, and I'll sit on it for like years, or I'll write down some lyrics and we'll just kind of like keep them in a notebook. I'll be like, oh, I know I want to use that. But it's a matter of figuring out when I want to use it. And other times I'll like catch a bit of lyric and I'll write it all down. Yeah, so usually one way or the other. But I mean, it's usually, I very rarely feel like I like write a chord progression. I'm like, oh, that lends itself perfectly to this theme or topic.
But also, I can hear a lot of the ideas in my head and playing them on saxophone or piano or.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of times, if I write the lyrics first, I usually have a progression in mind. I have like a line that goes a particular way, and there are times where I'll catch a little line of lyric and I'll write it all down, and it's more or less finished product. And then I sit down and in like 5 minutes have a completed work, which is so nice when that happens. Of course, it doesn't mean it's always good. Sometimes that happens as shit.
2 questions. They say, so you tend to write scores on your computer? I would say yes, for the most part. Or I pretty much have a lot of what I want to get down for that day in my head, and then I just put it away on my computer.
Yeah.
And then, so sometimes the music or lyrics inspire each other, and I would say, yeah, because I've written, actually, well, shorter. I haven't done it that much because I hate writing lyrics, but piano and voice things for recitals and stuff.
We should do, Travis.
What?
I'll write a bunch of citrus-based lyrics, and we can write a citrus symphony. Yeah, Travis definitely does. I mean, not always. Obviously, classically oriented can be a gigantic range. But I'd say you're about hit the nail on the head.
Yep, I got a playful cat in the stream. Nice.
Man, how old is Watson now?
It's I'm playing against MangoTownMatt. How old is Watson? He's almost 2. His birthday is in 10 days.
Wow.
Or somewhat like that.
He's only almost 2?
Yeah. Or no. Wait a minute. No, I guess not. I guess it's 3. 3.
Okay.
3, yeah. That's, yeah. Oh yeah, SAI usually sees Mike and I playing.
Oh, nice.
Jeez.
Nice to meet you, SAI.
All
What to do? What to do? Bet you didn't see me taking out chair.
No, I wanted you to take out my knight. That's why. I mean, yeah, definitely move.
Did.
It's better than having your knight.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nice. Yeah, so you got a pawn, rook, and queen for the queen.
Sounds like somebody's got a case of the zoomies. Alright, I'm probably head out after this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good game so far. So
yeah, absolutely. Oh man, you know what I learned is crazy, Travis? I'm not going to name the language because then people would know where I was. But I just learned that the language here has the opposite of a diminutive. A diminutive is when you make something smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just add something to the end of a word and it means like super or giant. I was like, wow. Crazy. Oh, yeah.
What language, they ask?
What language? Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's three. Well, I mean, I guess technically, if you count some of the other countries, you can count it as five. I don't know. That's an interesting question.
No, I mean, is it Bosnian?
Yeah. Bosnian, Serbo-Croatian. I mean, technically, I guess you have to say Bosnian, Serbian, Croatian. You better include all the other groups that were a part of Yugoslavia, because God forbid you leave any of them out. It's actually not super duper complicated. It's just that there's a so ethnicity here. Yeah, it deals very much with religion, and there isn't the same degree of separation of church and state as you see in America. I would argue even there, it's questionable. And so people get real bent out of shape about stuff. Real bent out of shape. What?
It was en passant.
What? I just moved from H2 to H4.
Yeah, that's an en passant capture rule. That's in a lot of chess.
What? In what world is that even a thing? Is that an actual thing you can do? Yeah, identity politics gets super touchy. Especially when groups kind of cyclically repeat monstrosities. What? When the... Okay.
I didn't see that for a while.
Yeah, me neither.
This is actually going to be pretty tough.
I think you win regardless.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Good game.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. All right, I'm gonna get on out of here, get some sleep.
Yeah.
I will see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
2 p.m. European Time for some hippos and some crocodiles.
Yep. This has been Atomic 960. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for playing, Matt. See everyone next time.
Being here. See you next time.
Goodbye.